privileged enough to sign Fernando Tatis to a contract. I was privileged enough to be part of his overall development from the Dominican to rookie ball to A ball. In the major leagues, he told me the one thing he wanted to do was always to find his father. Even though he had not seen his father, he was always searching for his father.
I was asking myself, why did he just take off and doesn't say anything, never call, never try to get in touch with us? In the big league, I was saying to myself, now I have the opportunity to see if he is alive. Now I can find him.
This is like a dream for him to see his dad. I said to myself, you know what? What about somebody write a story about this?
Omar called New York Times. The article is coming out. Fernando Tatis just make it to the big league, and he's looking for his father.
The New York Times is read all over the world, including a small town in Florida called Bowling Green. There, it found a woman named Dee Williams. She was married to a house painter. He was originally from the Dominican Republic, but he had not been back home in many years. His name was Fernando Antonio Tatis.
He never talked about what happened. I couldn't mention the word baseball to him. It was so painful, just the word was so painful. He didn't want to talk about anything related to baseball. And then when this article came along, that started a healing process with him.
The full story of the Tatis and Guerrero families must include the story of Fernando Antonio. Because the full story of Dominican baseball includes those whose dreams come true and those whose dreams are shattered. Fernando Antonio Tatis was a promising minor leaguer in the 1970s, playing for the Denver Bears in the Astros system. But just before he made the majors, a devastating rotator cuff injury ended his career before it began.
It was like his whole world was destroyed right then. Him having an opportunity even to come play ball was like he was the savior of the whole family. They relied on him. When he had this injury, that was like just cutting off the connection to his family. When his career died, he really considered his life over.
In that moment, Fernando Antonio chose to start a new life in Florida, turning his back on his young son.
I went away on my own, and it's been a very tough time. Was one of the biggest mistakes that a man can make. It's a mistake that you make in your life that only goes away after you die, not before.
But now, 20 years later, through an article in the New York Times, his son was reaching out to him.
He was out in batting practice. I says, listen, I think we found your dad. Your dad wants to talk to you.
We met for the first time after all these years. Finally, I get to see his face. There you are. Finally, after 20 years.
And it was like right then, you could see some of the mending start to happen.
Love is a decision that we make for somebody. And I make that decision. I don't care about what happened in the past. We just need to start from the beginning.
Me and Fernando never talked one word about what happened or what didn't happen. Never got me any question. Because most of the time, when me and Fernando meet, we're talking about baseball.
love seeing my grandfather being there. Moments like that are very special. This game is the biggest day in our family. It is in our blood. It has come from my grandfather, and then my dad, and now it's passing on to me.
When I see Bebo coming up as a ball player, I feel good about it. He's gonna be the next Tatis.